Welcome to the next installment of the Captain's Auction Preview for October 15th, 2022. And starting off with the replay version of Buccaneer that you saw earlier in an earlier video. This is Gottlieb's ship Ahoy. Same beautiful art, just great execution all the way through the game. And still the same fun playing game, just a replay game instead of the out-of-ball with the central spin and spot feature. When you hit the spinner and it spits or hits out that number if you don't manage to spot it the conventional way. Next up, Gottlieb's El Dorado, legendary pinball machine, not only for its gameplay but also for its art. Very much a poignant piece of artwork from Gordon Morrison for sure. The gameplay very cool because at the top there is a devilishly hard plunger shot to try and get one of the rollovers. I mean, you have to be good to hit it. And then midfield you have those two 2-inch flippers to be able to try and pick off those drop targets, and you see they have the correct cactus drop targets in the back. The happy cowboy there in the center seems to be celebrating things, and then over here down below in the lower playfield the correct horse drop targets there for that. But always the best feature for me in the artwork, center of the playfield, the poignance of those who didn't make it in the quest for gold. So El Dorado, great Gottlieb pinball machine. Of course, spawned its various cousins for 2-player, 4-player forward versions, etc. Gottlieb Golden Arrow, this we had earlier, but this one is very nice. The back glass really captures it. You can see the fierceness of the warrior back there. Just a beautiful, respectful treatment from Gordon Morrison. He did a couple of different games that were like this in terms of the quality and the respect of the art, and this game really is amazing. It's a rollover game and a target game. Complete the numbers, very challenging, but easy enough to understand, and also cool that it has the top spinners, so you really have to make a shot to hit those spinners, so you really get rewarded for quality play. Gottlieb Skyline, another of the cool animated back glass wedge heads, which has not only the floor indicator that's showing on the back glass, but also the doors in a similar manner to what you saw in the previous videos for the subway theme. And this one kind of has a upper floor kind of New York or Chicago vibe to it. You can see the sky-high top room, and you see the doors opening to reveal something kind of fun, and the great society people kind of in the back box showing that, and some guys are having a better time than others. And then of course the playfield carries out the game and has this the center roll feature where you basically spot by rolling over the little switches there and down to the bottom of the playfield. All-time classic wooden wedge head from Gottlieb. And another one, racquetball. Here you are scoring the different rollovers to get the pool balls. Instead of having the numbered balls in the playfield, you can actually do it with the lit lanes. And so it's a different way to think about pool, and it's a different approach to the game. And this one is gorgeous. That's Gottlieb's racquetball. They had a number of games in the pool theme, and I think several of them, if not all of them, seem to be in this auction. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Valley Sky Kings, cool single-player game with the Dick White art that has the kind of comical theme there. As you can see, our skydiver is having a moment with his friend, which he seems to be pretty cool about given his general circumstances there. But not everyone has been as successful in his landing, and I'm not sure this guy is going to be either. So great fun cartoon Dick White artwork. Playfield a little bit more reserved on the theme, but then if you take a close look at the bonus countdown, you can see everybody kind of landing in different ways down, progressing through the bonus countdown to the bottom of the playfield. Great execution on the Bally single player. Bally Surfers from the earlier era, as you can see from the difference of the five-digit score with a 0 that does nothing to the 4-digit score. So the games are essentially the same, just 4 working score reels. In the case of the newer games, they had the dummy score reel. Surfers is another one of the great Jerry Kelly art packages, and you can see here some of the details on the back glass art. As you can see, things aren't going quite so well in the things that are going on in the back box. The kind of youth culture is again celebrated with the surfing and all of that. And as you can see around the score reels, again, the art is adapted to kind of show that over here, you'll notice that our girl has been the victim of a crime, and that's why, thankfully, the score reel helps retain her modesty, which is just amazing. Fantastic Jerry Kelly execution on the art. One of the best back glass artworks from a master of art. And of course, asymmetrical playfield again. The features are a little bit different from some of the other games, because on this game you get a balloon bonus where if you blight the balloon number 9 in the back box, then you get a replay. Valley Magic Circle, a game you can kind of see, it looks like a gypsy theme is what I would best describe this as being. You can see the railroad car kind of, or a wagon, I'm not quite sure, I think it's really a wagon that seems to be their base in the background, and then kind of the gypsy party that's going on up front with the very colorful artwork in that. And this is for a 60s ballad game, kind of a typical approach of making the numbers, in this case 1 through 5, from the mushroom bumpers to complete your objectives. Williams 3 Jokers, a single player, a little bit later period, late 60s or 1970, I'm not sure, I'm not remembering right now. And this kind of has a little bit of hybrid art. It's not quite, in the direction of the Pointy People art, but it's kind of getting there for Christian Marsh, so it's a little bit of a different approach. Cool back glass, and the central feature of the game is seen here with the pointer that is able to select the different cards, Ace, Joker, King, as it advances. Williams Triple Action, another single player from Williams. This is a movie-themed game. As you can see, the director is here filming a rather slapstick-style scene that's reminiscent of the 1910s, in particular the silent film era. That's what it looks like to me. I don't see any sound, so that would make sense. So it's kind of a throwback movie-themed game. Kind of typical 70s approach to the playfield for Williams, in this case with the spinning central disc feature that you've seen on a number of their other games, and it can score 10s or 100s depending on what you've done. And other than that, kind of typical Williams ABCD completion approach. Very cool title here, Beat the Clock, one of the reverse wedge heads from Williams. We mentioned that in an earlier video, but this one has a number of great features to it. You can see the back box has the clock feature there, and this game is able to do a multi-ball capability, so this is a multi-ball game from Williams. You can see the condition of the playfield here, and when you get the ball in the star hole in the center, then when you get the side holes, you get to eject that ball. And the other cool thing is the way the flippers work on this game, a little bit novel, the way the 4 flipper layout goes on. So the goal, of course, you're trying to get that clock to reach 12 in the back box, and if you do, you get a replay and you get a further progress in the game. Williams Wing Ding, another the reverse wedge head, so we have 2 in a row here. You can see this is the very trendy at a time water skiing theme, and so it wasn't that far to get from Chicago to the Wisconsin Dells and other sort of water ski meccas of the Midwest. This back glass shows that, and I think it's amazing. It has a progressive kind of feature in the back as the balls kick up to go 1 through 9, and you can see the playfield matches the theme. Again, beautiful plastics kind of capturing that water skiing theme in the plastics detail. Certainly a lovingly designed and made pinball machine. A lot of fun to play as well. Williams Top Hand, this one, Western themed, kind of gambling saloon themed game. This was a common theme with Williams especially. They seem to do it a fair amount. It seemed that Williams kind of biased a little bit more towards the Western theme sometimes. And they fill that out here. You can see the center actually has the advancing reels capability where you can advance the left, center, and right cards. And when you make 3 of a kind, for example, you get special lanes lit on the outlanes. And again, you see the detailed Williams art that's also characteristic of this period of pinball machines. Gottlieb's Domino. the kind of classic Domino themed pinball machine. Okay, well, it's the only one along with its Playmates Adaball equivalent, but just a very, I don't know what I could say, serene design with them playing these gigantic dominoes in the park, while in the background you see the accompaniment of the music playing along with them. Something kind of sweet about all that, I guess. At least to me it is. Anyway, the playfield layout, you can see lots of rollover lanes in the top, and the central device, which is the roto target in the center, you're able to make the left or the right, and you're working on making progress in your domino set. Flipper Parade, one of the original Adaball games of the Flipper series. We're going to see another one in a minute here. This one, like all of them except the first one, Flipper has a background animation, in this case a cannon that fires and shoots a ball, go back and forth across the back glass. That's why she has her fingers in her ears. So you can see that over here, you can see she is working on lighting the cannon, and she's got what I hope to be shells that are blank, but if you actually look at it a little bit more closely, you'll see that her shells are actually Revlon lipsticks, and the powder is not the kind of powder you'd expect to see in a cannon. Alright, and there we go. I actually started the game and you saw it kick across, so that was fun. That's what happens when you lean on the game, so you start. So, playfield here, and again, a roto target game, and one of the favorite little features of the design, there's a lot of the, well, of the artwork, there's a lot, but on the left you can see, you know, our animals here are circus animals. Leo, which kind of makes sense, and then, well, Fido, I'm not sure about that. Anyway, there you go. You have another egghead here, not as nice as the other one, there's no question about that, but this one will probably go to a home that will give it some restoration and love. We have a top card here. This one actually looks pretty good, and back glass is in good shape, so it kind of duplicates a little bit of where I see in the playfield there. And Flipper Fair, another one of the Flipper series games. This time the ball goes back and forth across the rainbow in this Adaball machine, and the layout is fairly typical for the early 1960s Gottlieb games, symmetrical layout, as they do have most of the time, and of course an Adaball game like all the Flipper series. And the last one in this series of EMs is Gottlieb's big hit, one of the baseball-themed Gottlieb pinball machines. Better than most by far, I think, because of the way the targets are. Up at the top of the playfield, they actually give you some flippers to hit those targets with, so it can be kind of hard sometimes to make the long shot with the flippers from the lower, but that is an option. And the combination of that and the two very targets in the middle of the playfield on the left and right give you, I think, just about the best of the Gottlieb pinball baseball themed games. And that brings us to the end of this sequence of electromechanical pinballs.